Hello and welcome, my people with peanut butter gushing out of their nipples. It's SJB here, and today I've got an interesting video for you guys. In yesterday's video, though, I talked about the top 5th tier towers in the game, why they matter and why they're good, but also I talked a little bit about the worst towers in the game, and this is all according to you guys. You guys voted for the worst tower in Bloons Tower Defense 6, or the worst 5th tier tower, and Plasmonkey Fan Club with a commanding lead of 53%, followed by Transforming Tonic at 25%, and then the other two, I think, pretty similar here with 11 and 12% for Super Maelstrom and Zarbomba. So my question to you guys is, are you guys just terrible at this game, or are these actually really bad upgrades, or maybe just unfun to use or difficult to use? So what I wanted to do for you guys, I want to talk about kind of the optimal way to use these upgrades, and then I want to go into a Chimps game and see if we can win Chimps with all of the worst 5th tier towers in the game. So first of all, let's set out a crap ton of BFBs over here, and what I want to show you guys really quickly is that I've got a bunch of different Dart Monkeys set up over here with different upgrade paths and everything, and I've got another set of 3 different Dart Monkeys over here, all with Plasmonkey Fan Club. All I want to do is I want to make sure kind of like all the balloons are in range here before I end up using my Plasmonkey Fan Club ability, and we're just going to kind of watch the balloons get popped for just a little while here. As soon as that ability is going to be gone here, we're going to end up deleting the balloons, and we're going to see what we got. So the first thing to note is just a plain Dart Monkey here with about 10,000 pops or so. Alright, 11,000 if you want to get cray-cray. Enhanced Eyesight doesn't matter too much, doesn't give us any extra pop and power, still about 10,000, but then it gets a little interesting. So if we decide to go for something like Razor Sharp Shots, we get almost 15,000 pops. If we decide to go for very quick shots, we get about 16,000 pops, though I've seen, for the most part, that these guys are very, very similar numbers, and it does not seem to matter which one you go for. When we combine both of those upgrades together, though, we get almost double the pops. So a base Dart Monkey is going to only get a 10k, and if we go for Razor Sharp Very Quick Shots, 21k with the Plasmonkey Fan Club. So clearly it is worth it to go for these upgrades. If you decide to go for different combos like Enhanced Eyesight with Very Quick Shots, you can still get an intermediate amount of pops, but of course you're kind of trading range for popping power. So it kind of depends on what you want to go for, but cross paths do matter. Now what's even crazier, if you decide to do something crazy like a Perma-Row, or maybe even just an Alchemist play with these Dart Monkeys, you can increase their pop and power even more crazily. So for example, a base Dart Monkey here goes from 10,000 up to 34 or 35,000 pops, 3.5 timesing his popping power over here. And of course, that's going to extrapolate out to even further ridiculous numbers over here, with Razor Sharp Shots being 41k, and a 2-2 being 65,000 pops. So buffs do matter for these guys. And that also helps out that we have Primary Expertise over here, which is giving us free upgrades for the base path. So this is actually a really easy way to get a really nice combo of Plasmonkey Fan Clubs. The question is, can these guys right here, if we actually use Plasmonkey Fan Clubs in a reasonable way, especially if we get a lot of 2-2 Dart Monkeys where we've got free upgrades or things like that, can these actually be like effective towers in the game? So we can get up to 20 of these guys, but I'm not going to get a full 20. I just kind of want to see what's going to happen here if we use these guys in a reasonably effective way. Can we take down round 98 without too many issues? And the answer is pretty much yes. Wow, that's kind of ridiculous. We actually spent a reasonable money here to take down round 98. Plasmonkey Fan Club, is it really that bad, or is it just kind of difficult to use? So Plasmonkey Fan Club, if you use it properly, actually isn't that horrible. Well, what about Total Transformation? Now, this is what I think is a fairly optimized, though not fully 100% optimized strategy. So let's talk about what this is, why it works, and whether or not it's actually going to beat round 98. So that's what I want you guys to do. Predict for me if you think this strategy or this combo will actually take down round 98 in a reasonable way. If it just takes down 99% of the balloons and a couple ceramics sneak through, whatever, it doesn't really matter too much. But will this actually beat round 98 in an effective and reasonable way? Let's let the balloons go through for just a little bit here before we end up using our ability, because we don't want it to run out of time. And then once we actually finally need it, let's use this ability. Total Transformation. How's it doing? Actually, not too shabby. So why did this end up working? Well, first of all, we used a couple different buffs. We've got Oben here, which is going to end up buffing all of our druids here by quite a bit of extra damage. We've got all of these druids over here up to 4th tier, and that's going to give us a multiplicator for all of our other druids on the screen. So we got the Oben buff and the other druid buff over here. So when this guy totally transforms, he makes those buffs kind of combine together and end up being totally transformed into a ridiculously overpowered tower, basically. So, of course, those other 5 druids were about $30,000 or so. Nothing ridiculous, but is something definitely to at least mention. So we're $30,000 less on what we're actually doing here. Let's see if this makes a $30,000 difference or a significantly larger than $30,000 difference. Let's use these alchemists, and let's go to town on round 98. And you're going to see a huge mungo difference. Now, this still has the open buffs here, but not the combination of other druids buffs. And clearly, this is just absolutely ridiculously less powered, but not completely, unbelievably underpowered. But you do have to use those combos to make them worthwhile. You either have to go for the druid buffs or go for a bunch of shinobi ninjas kind of combined together to make them worthwhile here. Otherwise, they're kind of worthless. And I understand why this is kind of weird for people, but it is still a possibility, or a possible way to play the game. Once you get to the other 2 fifth tier towers, they get a little bit more interesting. Now, Zarbomba's weird because it's an insta-kill, and it has global range, and it's actually quite powerful. If you want to, you can just insta-kill all reinforced BFBs on the screen, stunning Oh My Gods, and just waiting for the cooldown to come back, and then you should be able to, I think, insta-kill these Oh My Gods as well. So, if you ask me, that's pretty freaking powerful. Kablooey! Take down round 98 solo with 40 grand? About 50 grand. About 50 grand, okay. But still, that's actually pretty powerful. This is the first tower that will not be able to beat round 98 pretty much at all. Super Maelstrom. Now, does that mean that this guy is bad and horrible in every single way possible? I would completely say no. That would be something I completely disagree with. I think that he has his use cases, but it's not super duper late game. It's not round 98 plus. It's more along the lines of beating, you know, something like 76, 78, the weirder rounds, and then still having just some support capabilities, basically, and just helping you out a little bit. You know, around 81, this guy's only like 20 grand total. So, like, there's a huge difference in price for this guy, and we can still do tons of damage to BFBs, Moab, ceramics, and everything on the inside here, and get the ability cooldown back again to use it 2 or maybe even 3 times in a single round? Alright. Fair enough. Super Maelstrom's kind of weird. I understand why people don't really like it that much, but it definitely is not bad. So the real question becomes, can we beat Chimps mode using the worst towers in the game? And the answer to that is no. Oh, that was unexpected. Why'd you shut that down so quickly, Chris? Well, it just so happens that those 4 5th-tier towers cost more than the total allotment you'd get by beating the entirety of Chimps mode. So it is physically impossible to play Chimps mode and unlock all 4 of those 5th-tier towers. The Super Strom costs roughly 20k, the Alk costs roughly 60k, the Plasma Monkey Fan Club about 56k, and the Zarbomba about 53,000, and that doesn't even include cross paths and or any buffing towers and or a hero or anything else that kind of going to keep us in the game throughout this entire situation. So, I've decided that I have to sacrifice one of these towers at the very least, and I am going to sacrifice something that doesn't really work well with each other, which is Total Transformation and Plasma Monkey Fan Club. We have to choose one of them. And because you guys voted for Plasma Monkey Fan Club as the worst of the worst, we're going to stick with that one. But I cannot use Total Transformation in combination with that. We're going to ignore it. So, let's get started playing some Chimps mode and see if we can use some Super Maelstrom-y action, some other crap, and actually do a good job here. So I don't have too much rhyme nor reason to Oben. I could easily pick any hero realistically, but I just think Oben's a nice, fair, and reasonably easy to use free hero that won't dominate the game in any way, so we're going to let Oben kind of be on our team here and see where we can get to. In addition, starting off this game, we have Dart Monkeys allowed, dude, and we can spam them and pretty much put them anywhere and still have to be a reasonable value for us. So definitely a super duper easy start for us. Absolutely. Just walking through this thing. Next up, though, I'm going to start building my Monkey Ace. Now, this is seemingly a little bit weird of a map to use Monkey Ace. It's not horrible, but it's definitely a little bit on the weirder side. But I'm going to put him nearer to the bottom, because I believe that the balloons will be closer to the bottom here, and he's better against the balloons than anything else. So we're going to go like that. We're going to put him like this, and I will eventually get a middle path Monkey Ace down here. As far as our tack shooter is concerned, I was thinking I want to put him somewhere near the middle of the map, but I also want to make sure I have these guys in range of a village. So I could spend the money on the village right now and just kind of put it over here, but I'm thinking I'll just plan ahead without the village, and I'll get my Super Maelstrom somewhere near the middle of the map down here. I don't know if this is optimal. I've been using the word optimal a lot, I understand that, but I don't know if this is optimal, but I kind of just like the idea of just being somewhere in the middle, because I feel like all of my Stroms will eventually reach out, branch out, and just hit some frickin' balloons. So the one thing that I'm going to point out is that I do not feel bad whatsoever about getting randomly 2 dart monkeys. It's kind of weird, and they're not like the usual go-to thing for me to want to build here, but they're not horrible. And knowing that they're going to be super duper powerful in the late game makes me feel like I kind of like the idea of going for a bunch of random 2/2 dart monkeys. It's very weird, but I also have to keep in mind that I'm going to need cam detection here, and I will have to splurge a little bit and get a couple of these guys with enhanced eyesight and stuff like that. But I have the ability to spam 20 dart monkeys kind of anywhere on the screen that I want to. I'll admit, so far this is a very, very goofy strategy, but it's been working almost flawlessly. The only real weakness we have at this point in the game is cam detection. But our Bomber Ace kind of keeps that from being a major issue because he's in the back here and pops camos pretty well. So, yeah, that's pretty awesome. The only one other issue though is that Open, I cannot place his thorns. So right now he's just throwing thorns kind of randomly and somewhat stupidly. All right, Moabs, should we have any issues with this guy? Kinda. I mean, I have the Maelstrom here, so I think this guy's going to take care of it. But without that Maelstrom, easily gonna cut through everything for. Ooh, even with the Maelstrom. Oh, I was not expecting that. Now, I got some money here, but dang. Okay, I'll be honest, I kind of wasn't expecting that. I thought my Maelstrom would at least do enough damage to the Moab that would allow me to clean up the stuff, but it did not. So instead, we're going to hope that these thorns I can throw down on top of the Moab here, and then I can use the Maelstrom to clean up the rest of the stuff. Bam. We do get some thorn action on this guy, and the Maelstrom should do a much better job cleaning up the balloons this time, and we do succeed with a crap ton of dart monkeys in the front of the map. This is where things are going to start to get a little tricky, because my dart monkeys, kind of front-loaded right now, are going to be like decent against the Moabs and stuff like that, but they don't have the greatest balloon popping power, so balloons are kind of getting reasonably far on the map, at least on the big rounds, which leads me to have to use my Blade Maelstrom when things get rough. And I'm kind of deciding on whether or not I should just go straight into a primary expertise with a couple other random dart monkeys here, or if I need to just build something else to help me survive. Because right now, what I can tell you about all of these towers here is that none of them are that dominant. Right now, at least, none of them are that dominant. They're kind of just okay. They require abilities and other things to kind of like get them going in the game here. Super Maelstrom might not be a bad idea to kind of just keep me in the game in most situations, so it's only 16k. Well, you know what? Let's try for primary expertise, but worst case scenario, we'll buy the Super Maelstrom. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm having trouble getting this strategy to take off. I want to get like Super Monkey Fan Club or something, but I think I'll just run into more issues later down the road. I want to get a Super Maelstrom, still can't afford it, and running into issues on round 50. So what kind of mid-tower? Just a tower that I can get that'll like help me out in the meantime, just keep me in the game. And I think I want to go for a Monkey Pirates, and I'm going to go for the faster firing and double shot with the cam detection of my village over here. I think this is going to easily keep me in the game here, allow me to kind of just spend my money in the right way, hopefully afford a primary expertise as my next tower. That's my goal. And let me tell you guys, this was an extreme game changer right here. He's just the freaking guy to go to, man. When in doubt, build the Monkey Pirates. He's just good. And I haven't even been using my insta-kills or anything like that. Now, I won't be going Pirate Lord or anything like that. I'm not going to try to cheat the system. But I did want to get something that at least like get me started in the game here, because that was definitely one of the weaknesses with this kind of tower loadout. So I will admit that it's kind of cool. Open starting to take off now. He just got his trees available, so when balloons do sneak through our defense, but doink, he's just right there to take hold. So even though I was having a weird, kind of odd issue right around round 50, after that, things have been very smooth. All right, guys, I know I'm spending a lot of time on the early game here, but we want to see if this strategy works throughout the entire game, not just right when you need it, late game, round 98 or round 99. So I'm struggling right now because I'm kind of sad that I think I'm going to be a few $1,000s away from my primary expertise, and now round 63 is here. Which, if you guys know anything about round 63, you know it frickin' sucks. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the Maelstrom here to get rid of the first loadout. We're going to hope that this can suck up most, if not all, of the second loadout, and we're going to try to get a new set of trees down to kill the last set here. And let's see if this is going to end up working. So here we go, we're going to suck up most of them. We're going to blow up a new set of trees over here, and that should suck up the last set here. And now I got my Maelstrom back anyway. So with some ability spamming, we are able to take down round 63 without too many issues, and now we're able to get a primary expertise. Now you might be wondering, why did I try to force a primary expertise down this strategy's throat? Like, did I really need this guy to make this strategy work? No. not really, but what this does open up is the fact that now we can buy these upgrades for free. So you not only get the first upgrade for free, but you get the second upgrade for free. So we're saving so much money. So all my random base Dart Monkeys here, I get to upgrade these guys all for free. And I get the free cam detection off of this village here, so definitely lots of pop and power coming off of these if we end up getting a full-on Plasma Monkey fan club, which of course I'm assuming that I will be getting that later on in the game. All the other upgrades that I didn't upgrade yet, I will be going through these guys and making sure that I've upgraded them properly, but as of right now, this is the way it is. So pretty much anytime I'm playing Bloons Tower Defense 6, I like to skip the 60s. It's not that they're like worthless and you can't lose on them, but I find them to be just a little too easy for me, so I tend to just skip them. So we skipped the late 60s, we skipped the early 70s, and here we are. We're on round 75 and finally getting to the point where we're actually going to have to start microing or playing or doing things. And now we've got a lot of abilities to work with at this point. We've got not a super Maelstrom yet, just a regular Blade Maelstrom, but that's a good amount of balloon pop power for us. We've got trees to slurp up extra balloons as well. We got Super Monkey fan clubs to take down big chunks of mobs, and don't forget that this guy's also really, really good against the balloons as well. So hopefully this just kind of can skate us through into the late game here, because I want to get a Plasma Monkey fan club. Worst case scenario, I think we'll probably end up having it a Super Maelstrom before that, or maybe a Ground Zero instead. But ideally, I'd go straight into a Plasma Monkey fan club, and that guy would be my guy. Just kind of saves the day for a really long time. Still going quite ridiculously strong here. This is round 79, and everything's going down very easily. I'm not sure if it's open, or my Super Monkeys, or my cannon ship. I really can't tell you exactly what's going on in here, but everybody's working together in a really wonderful way right now. Let's use Super Monkey Fan Club around 80. Probably going to have to start using this almost every round, though, once we get around 80 plus. Maybe every other round, if we can't afford to get that in time. But things are actually, like I said, I'm kind of impressed with how good things are going overall. Here we go, another Super Monkey Fan Club. And we're $15,000 away from what we need. Around 82 here. One weird thing is that my Maelstrom, which has saved the day on round 63, has not really done much besides that. At least not right now. It's all about my other towers. All right, Super Monkey Fan Club at the very end of round 82. Probably a bad idea, but maybe not. And only $10,000 away. I feel like we're just really rocking it up over here. Rocking it or rocketing it? Ooh, great question, Chris. I don't know which one I was going for, but let's just pretend like it was ever one you prefer. I kind of like rocketing, you know, because you get to like fly up into space like a hedgehog or whatnot. Get it? Get it? Wink, wink. Coughity cough. Do you get it? Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. It was an old Flash game called Hedgehog Launch. For all the old school people out there, you might know what it is. If you haven't played it, though, it's pretty fun, man. It's pretty fun back in the day. And here it is! Plasma Monkey Fan Club. All right. That actually was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought we were going to be like failing all over the place and doing stupid crap. No, we got Plasma Monkey Fan Club ready to go. Now don't forget, you can get 20 other Dart Monkeys to be Plasma Monkey Fan Clubs. Right now, I actually think I'm going to focus on not doing that, though. I think I'm going to focus on getting a Ground Zero first, then maybe a Super Maelstrom, or maybe a Super Maelstrom into a Ground Zero. Personally, I think Ground Zeros are going to be better for me, but I think that once I go for my Ground Zero, I'm not going to want to switch back into something else. And I know that Super Maelstroms are not super duper good late game, so I could end up just not doing that very well at all. But oh, look at that black balloon. Without PMFCing, we lose. I was having a hard time just figuring out what I wanted to do with PMFCing or Plasma Monkey Fan Clubbing, but I think Plasma Monkey Fan Clubbing is actually easier to say than PMFCing. But that's how I would write it down if I was going to write it down. So anyways, I think we're going to have to start using this pretty much every single round. Probably? Maybe? Hopefully that works out. Right now, our biggest weakness is if anything sneaks through this defense right here. Maelstrom does not do a great job against Super Ceramics, and this guy also does not do a great job against Super Ceramics, so we're really relying on our random primary expertise to just clean up the random balloons on the inside. And that's not a guarantee. I could end up doing something a little bit different with more Dart Monkeys kind of spread throughout the entirety of the screen. That is also a possibility for us. Holy crap, that owns! That is really, really, really good if you can get that ability down. Oh my god. Alright, I need some more stuff, though, to keep me alive here. Just using one ability to keep me alive, not worth. Not worth at all. Alright. We got some Summon Gods here. I kind of want to use the ability, but a little afraid to. Yeah, let's use it. I got it. We'll use this for the end of round 88 into the most of round 89. Hopefully we'll get it back for round 90 when these DDTs come out. All right, and I can soon afford a Ground Zero or Super Maelstrom. All right. Let's see. Again, getting a little scary here. Uh-oh. I don't think we're going to handle it. Oof! Sucks to suck. All right, I kind of don't like using too many weird and crazy towers, but oh, no. I don't get the start of round 89's Plasma Monkey Fan Club when you restart. That sucks! So we miss out on a lot of this popping power here, but maybe that'll actually be good for us. Stupidly be good for us. I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes just different patterns of popping things can make you do a better job against them. Here we go. We're going to go for the Super Maelstrom, and what I decided to do, not Super Maelstrom, just regular Maelstrom at this point, what I decided to do was go for something really, really weird at the back here. I decided to go for a Spike Factory. All right, now this is a very, very weird tower, and I hate spending money on things that aren't going to actually be the worst towers in the game, but I have to point out the fact that this guy is really good against Super Ceramics, and that is right now my weakness, random Super Ceramics. Not even just all the Super Ceramics, just random ones. So I built it. All right, it's only a couple grand, but it is keeping me away from getting all of my other towers that I really want to get at this point, which is kind of sad. You know, I want a Super Maelstrom. I want at the very least a Ground Zero. Maybe not Zarbomba, but I want a Ground Zero. All right, back to Plasma Monkey Fan Clubbing. I probably want to start trying to use this guy at the beginning of a round if at all possible, so I can get it back for the next round, but I don't know. One thing that I can do is, even though it's just very, very little money, I can build like a random Dart Monkey here, 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 and here. Just kind of like keep me in the game against really weird, snaking through Bloons, I guess. But here we go. Another ability here on run 92. All right, that went down pretty easily. And run 93 shouldn't be too bad. Just a couple reinforced PFPs. But also DDTs. Ooh. All right, maybe Spike Factory can clean up. Oh my god, Spike Factory! For the money we spent, that Spike Balls is awesome, dude. Oh my god. Like, why am I not building 65,000 Spike Balls over here? Alright, some Strawmage here to try to keep us in the game. I don't know why I'm not using my Plasma Monkey Fan Club, but I'm not. Okay, alright, so we're struggling a little bit. Okay. So, right now, I think the biggest issue is we kind of put a lot of our eggs in a basket. And this basket was lifted up in a hot air balloon, and the problem is that it fell out of the hot air balloon. Okay? And you can't control a hot air balloon. You can't just be like, oh, here, let's set this puppy down right next to our basket. No, 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 no. That basket's freaking gone, dude. You're never going to find it ever again. All your eggs! They're freaking gone. All right, I need $100. Just give me $100 somehow. If I can get a Super Maelstrom, I can win this game. But I didn't. Oh, I ended up insta-killing a BFB this time, and that gave me enough money for Super Maelstrom, which should allow me to pop these DDT. Oh, crap, it doesn't have cam detection yet. But the tentacles do! Tentacles kept me in the game there, which is freaking sweet. And now I have to decide if I want to try to get cam detection on my Super Maelstrom here, which I just have no freaking idea. Alright, well, I got Super Maelstrom at possibly the worst possible time to make this guy feel decent. I will definitely admit that 100% of the time. All right, Plasma Monkey Fan Club, let's take down run 94. Should be an easy... When we get this ability, it's frickin' amazing. The problem is the cooldown, man. You really got to have something to kind of clean yourself up when you don't have this available, and that's where the Zarbomba might come into play, or even Ground Zero might come into play in some situations. But it's just sadly not coming into play the way I wanted it to. Money is just too scarce to make this all happen, and I spent a little bit of money on other things. Even a Monkey Pirates, okay, okay. Spent a little bit of money on a Spike Factory in the back here, but I don't know. I don't know. All right, another one of these guys. Clearly, like I said, do we need to build more Dart Monkeys and build more upgrades and alchemize them, stuff like that? No, they've got the pop and power covered. So the only thing we could get out of this guy is maybe build a couple more and maybe use him as like a savior net in some way. But any which way, we're just about up to. Here, let's use this again for 96. We might get it back a second time for round 97 anyways, because it's just a bunch of slows on my gods. But this time around, we do have the Ground Zero, so if we need a safety net, that is our safety net. Okay, I'm a little bit afraid about this, because then we got round 98 coming up. If we don't have Plasma Monkey Fan Club on round 98, that's pretty much donezo for us. All right, well, here it is. We pretty much have to beat this on our first try, or else we're dead. We're doomed. All right, let's insta-kill some crap. You know what? We got a Ground Zero. That could actually save the day. I could actually, yeah, you know what? We might be able to pull this off. As long as we don't screw this up for round 99, this could end up working out okay. All right, Plasma Monkey Fan Club. Super Maelstrom. I haven't used it all that much, but this is like the perfect time to use it. And then, do I ground zero or do I save it for the next round? I want to save it if at all possible, but ooh, this is a lot of frickin' balloons. Oh boy. All right, we ground zeroed it, but now we got nothing for round 99. Like nothing. I don't have my Plasma Monkey fan club, but I think that means this is possibly doom for us. Super Maelstrom cannot keep us in the game against these guys. Slightly mistimed. And that ruins pretty much our entire run. Us, of course, were able to pull off something somewhat ridiculous with a very early Strom. Throw out some of this crap all over the place. We'll try to insta-kill the first DDT. And then Spike Storm everything else. See if it's going to work for us. No, it will not. So let's be straight with each other for a second. You could chalk this up to SJB sucking. All right? That's very, very easy to do. Say, well, Chris, if you just did this different, you would have won. Yes, that is true. But I understand, completely understand, why people don't want to build a Plasma Monkey fan club when it's super powerful, but when it just makes you, when you have one round that you kind of screwed up just a tiny baby bit, and your entire run is done. You cannot screw up at all. That's why it's nice to have all the towers do their own thing and pop their own balloons, because guess what? They don't screw up. The computer's not just going to be like, well, let's not do an attack this time. No. They're going to freaking attack. They're not going to use their abilities wrong. They're not going to screw something up. So this screws us royally. You know, sometimes you wish that time travel was possible. You could just go back to round 98 and replay it. Do your abilities different. You'd have your abilities ready for round 99. You could have just restarted. It's my Plasma Monkey fan club better. I'd have it ground zero for round 99. I easily been able to take this stuff down. But sometimes you screw up. Sometimes you Plasma Monkey fan club wrong. And, yeah. So here we are. So, I guess in conclusion, can you beat Chimps mode with the worst 5th tier towers in the game? Oh, well, most definitely you can. But it's troublesome and annoying and not fun to do, and I completely understand why Total Transformation and Plasma Monkey fan club are one of the least favorite and least used towers in all of the game, when they're still really, really, really powerful if you're able to use them properly. But if you disagree with me, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, I hate to end it this way, but that's the way we're going to end it. On a sad note, on a defeat, the worst towers.